This is sent with love from across the pond in England. I have been staring at a blank document for 2 hours now, because how on earth did we find ourselves here again? In truth, my objective was to create a poem or something writery, but creativity eludes me today. I always try to add an essence of hope into my work, but today I'm struggling to find it. I know we must find it, because otherwise, what is the alternative? But today, the confusion and anger and bewilderment is too overwhelming to let hope in. And perhaps we need to feel all of this negativity before we move on. As usual, I try to escape into literature to try and understand overwhelming feelings and events. In all honesty, all I want to do is indulge in the comfort and warmth of Hogwarts or Middle-earth, where, despite the trials and tribulations, the bad guy is defeated and love and decency overcomes all. But today, despite trying to avoid cliches, my mind is focused on all things dystopian. This morning, again at a loss of what to say, but feeling the need to say something, I paraphrased one of the most famous openings to a novel. It was a dismal, cold day in November, and the clocks were striking 13. I could also have shared another quote from 1984, which could surely be the unofficial tagline of Trump's campaign. Ignorance is strength. That being said, perhaps I could just about excuse the American people of ignorance the first time round. But to make this choice again, I can't even begin to get my head around it. In 2016, I was studying for a few weeks at Southern Connecticut University when the Brexit results came in. I had voted via proxy and waited with cautious optimism that surely the right decision would be made. We all know how that turned out. The next day, downcast and defeated, we spoke about the madness of the situation, and then someone said, "Bloody hell, imagine if Trump got in too." I laughed because it seemed insane. Again, we know how that turned out. Now here we are again, wondering how. I was looking through some of Trump's quotes, and again I am bewildered how anybody with any kind of intelligence or compassion could vote for this man to be a class milk monitor, let alone President of the United States. It is something I am genuinely trying to understand, but failing. I've said if Ivanka wasn't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. A person who is very flat-chested is very hard to be a 10. You know, it really doesn't matter what the media write as long as you've got a young and beautiful piece of ass. I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? It's like incredible. It's that last quote that is most alarming, because he's right. It seems there's nothing this man can do or say to change his cult-like following. They excuse the inexcusable. It is truly terrifying, and with so much collective history under our belts as a world, we should know better. I watched with tears in my eyes a video of you engaging with young people, speaking of inclusion, hope and safety for all. I read your autobiography after you became Vice President. When I watched and unashamedly sobbed as Joe Biden was sworn in, replacing Donald Trump, it felt like the world gave a collective sigh. Yet, we find ourselves once again at the beginning of a very difficult road. I would like to share with you something which happened to me as I was writing this. It is so cheesy that you know it's true, because I would never add something so sappy on such a serious day. I was listening to a John Lennon record when the vinyl began to skip, and it did so on the word love. Love will always trump hate. Take care of yourself, rest, cry, scream, but then come back. America still needs you, even those who are smug with victory today, not realising that they too have lost. The world still needs you. We have a lot of work to do. With love, respect and hope, Ellie.